So if you're a high income earner and over the age of 50, and I need you to pay attention to this video because 2025 is going to be your last year to make pre-tax contributions to your 401k, but only to the catch-up portion of it. It doesn't matter what the Trump administration is going to do in 2025. The rule is going to change in 2026 unless Congress passes the Secure Act 3.0 or something like that to reverse that process. I'm not a fan of it, but I really doubt that any changes are going to reverse that process. And even if it did, it probably wouldn't take effect until 2027 and beyond. And let me explain how it's going to change. And when you log into your 401k account and click on contributions, you're going to see several options to fund your 401k. And the maximum contribution limit for 2025 is $23,500, which went up by $500 from 2024. And you have your traditional 401k to contribute your retirement in pre-tax dollars. And you'll have your Roth 401k to contribute to your retirement in after-tax dollars. And you also have your catch-up contribution if your 401k broker identifies you as someone over the age of 50. And if you're over the age of 50, you can contribute an extra $7,500 as a catch-up contribution. And if you're between the ages of 60 and 63, you can contribute an extra $11,250 as a catch-up contribution. It's not in addition to $7,500, but it's in addition to the personal contribution of $23,500. So if your income is less than $145,000, you can contribute your catch-up contribution in either traditional or Roth. It'll be the same as your personal contribution of $23,500. That makes sense so far, right? And if your income is more than $145,000 starting on January 1st, 2026, you can still do either traditional or Roth for the employee contribution up to $23,500. But for the catch-up contribution, you can only invest in Roth when your income is more than $145,000, which means that you'll have to pay taxes now, but only on either $7,500 or $11,250. But keep in mind that the $145,000 income wage limit is not yet adjusted for inflation yet for 2026. It could very well be $155,000 or $160,000, depending on the total inflation rate between 2023 and 2025. And if you elect to do the pre-tax catch-up contribution for $7,500, you could save anywhere between $1,800 and $2,800 in taxes by maximizing the catch-up contribution. So if you're at the 24% marginal tax rate, then you could save $1,800 now in taxes. And if you're between the ages of 60 and 63, maxing out $11,250 for the catch-up contribution, you could save anywhere between $2,700 and $4,200 in taxes if you make pre-tax catch-up contribution to your 401k. These are pretty significant tax savings so that you could miss out on starting in 2026 because of Secure Act 2.0 if your wages are above $145,000, not adjusted for inflation yet. And keep in mind that when you make pre-tax contributions to your traditional 401k, they're going to grow tax deferred. So you will have to pay your income tax when you start making distributions at your retirement age. But is Roth really that bad for people in their 50s or 60s still not working to contribute to a 401k? Not necessarily, because it is going to depend on when you're looking to make the distributions from your Roth 401k. And let me give you the scenario. Let's say that you are 50 years old and you make $7,500 in Roth 401k catch-up contribution, and your marginal tax rate is 24%, which means you'll pay $1,800 in upfront taxes for the $7,500 catch-up contribution, right? So if you're looking to retire by age 60, and that $7,500 makes a 7% average annual return, the total taxes you paid over the course of 10 years is $18,000, but the total value is going to be $103,625 just from the catch-up contribution of $7,500. The total investment you earn from these investments in 10 years is $28,624. So you already beat the total taxes you have paid by $10,000. You actually break even at 6 years between the taxes and interest when you make the Roth investments. And that's assuming that your investments make a 7% average annual return. If you have a higher return, then you'll break even much faster than 6 years, right? And the other way that you can do is by simply putting some of your employee investment, if not all, into the traditional portion of your 401k. So you can do 7,500 to your 401k to break even with those 7,500 in Roth catch-up contributions. So you essentially don't owe any taxes on that, right? Unless you were already doing the traditional 401k contributions. But this is just another way of looking at it. But whatever your age is right now, you have to first assess your financial situation. When you're in your 50s, you know at what age you want to retire by. If you are 50 years old right now and you're not looking to retire until age 65, you still have 15 years to let your investments grow, because what you want to be ready for is the required minimum distributions. Do you want to pay the taxes now so that you don't have to worry about the RMDs? If you're not going to be in your 70s until after the year 2033, the RMD age is going to be increased from 73 to 75 anyway. So you need to have a plan to make sure that you don't end up having too much in your tax deferred assets, because the RMD will require you to take money out of your traditional 401k account, depending on when you turn 73 or 75, before or after the year 2033. If you have millions of dollars in your traditional 401k and you start collecting your Social Security at the age of 70, you could end up paying a lot of taxes when you hit the RMD age. And nobody wants to pay more than they have to the IRS, right? You can always convert your pre-tax dollars to the Roth account when you're retired before you hit the RMD age. And for those of you in your 60s trying to catch up on your retirement contributions, you still need to assess how much longer you're going to be in the workforce. If you don't think you can do the Roth 401k contribution, then consider contributing more to your Roth IRA so that you can minimize your tax burden when you're completely retired from the workforce. You just have to remember the 5-year rule. There's no age limit to open a Roth IRA. You have to keep the Roth IRA and Roth 401k open for at least 5 years before you start taking distributions from them, right? So the purpose of this video is to make you aware that if you make over $145,000 a year, 2025 is your last year to get that tax break by making a traditional 401k catch-up contribution. If you need to lower your tax burden now because you're at a 24% marginal tax rate or higher than that, then take advantage of the tax savings now. If you're doing just Roth, do some Roth calculations and see how much of your 401k can grow tax-free in the next 5, 10, 15, or 20 years. Remember, you need to make sure that your retirement budget is in order first before you decide how much you can take money out of your 401k to supplement your Social Security income. You can go to firesignature.com/resources to use my compound interest calculator on that website and download your free resources while you're at it.